All right, so I'm gonna share with y'all a way to cleanse yourself, like how to cleanse yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this cleansing, I'm not talking about just your physical body. I'm talking about your astral body, your spirit body. And something that I use, right, real quick. This is pink Himalayan crystal salt. So this is a type of salt. And we got, if you don't, you can try this one too. This is Dr. Teal's pure Epsom salt. See that? Pure Epsom salt. So what you do, you got to cook yourself. You heard me. You got to cook yourself. Fill your tub with hot water. You can use either or, the Himalayan salt, or you can use the Epsom salt. Doesn't really matter. And pour the Epsom salt in the water. Now, when I was younger, we used to hear the elders talk about this. But I want to tell you something a little bit about it. That salt is it's a compound of sodium and chloride. Chloride is chlorine. Chloride is chlorine. So chlorine becomes chloride after it gives up an electron to sodium. Takes an electron from sodium. So it's a compound. And it has a total of 17. It has an atomic number of 17. Why this is important is this. Salt is what's considered, in terms of the periodic table, it's considered, it has high electronegativity. I'm going to say it again. It's considered highly electronegative. Electronegative means that the element attracts electrons. I'm going to say it one more time. Electronegativity means that whatever the element is, in this case salt, if it has a high rate of electronegativity, it means that that element has a very strong pull, a very strong draw. It pulls electrons from other elements. Why is that important? Electrons are negatively charged particles. Now, this is the periodic table. This is chemistry, right? This is, when you study chemistry and, Dmitry Medvedev, the periodic table, you'll learn about that stuff. But in a practical sense, why it's important in your everyday life is you have a lot of electronegative energy in your body. And you accumulate this electronegative through food that you eat, people that you associate with, especially sleeping with. When you sleep with people, you accumulate their you accumulate their electrons, which is their negative energies. The clothes you wear, it's just, we live in a very negative society, a very negative world. The movies you watch, the music you listen to, everything. So you're constantly accumulating in your base nerve center. It's your base nerve center at your spinal cord. You accumulate a tremendous amount of negative influences, and it accumulates, and builds up. And this is why you feel depressed. This is why you feel down. And if you're not depressed and you're not down, sometimes you're just lethargic, meaning you just feel tired all the time. You feel lazy. Or if you're not lazy and lethargic, you just might feel sluggish. So you do the bare minimum. The reason for that is because you have a high buildup, a very high buildup of electrons, which are ions, which are negatively charged particles. And they're necessary for life, but too much of anything, like they say, is no good. So the way that you remove these negative particles or negative charges out of your mind, out of your etheric body, out of your soul, out of your spirit, out of you, is through salt. Because again, in terms of the periodic table, salt is highly electronegative. And electronegative means that the element, in this case salt, has a very strong pull towards negative electrons, which is energy. So when you pour these compounds, salt, into hot water, it becomes the water's a soluble, meaning it becomes a solution, and it's called saline. So that saline, while you're laying in it, soaking, you let your body soak in it for a while, obviously, it's subtle, so it's not discernible to your eyes. But if you are able to see in that realm, outside of the optic range, outside of the visible light spectrum, you would see like the salt would be sucking so much negative energy out of your brain, your ears, your lips, your nose, your whole body. You will be able to see all the dark energy just being sucked out into that water that you're laying in that tub. So that's why you got to make sure that you, after you finish, obviously you're going to drain your tub, and you also want to make sure you take a shower right away. Don't come out and just come out, because that water's still on you. So that water's going to suck, the salt is going to suck all that energy out of your body. But you want to make sure that you take a cold or just a lukewarm shower right after, and just wash off that water itself that you've been soaking, because that water is saline. That water has all that negative energy that has been absorbed out of your body because of by means of salt, which is, like I said, it absorbs electrons, which are negatively charged particles, and ions. It's called anions, anions, right? So this is chemistry. But again, this is how you take care of yourself. Not just physically. You wash your physical body, but you got to wash your spiritual body at the same time. All right, peace.